Thank you very much, guys. I want to kick this off straight away. Team compositions coming out here for Royal Club. First pick Thresh, or first rotation Thresh. It's the first time Zero has not played either Janna or Nami this entire World Championship. The Fizz, the Irelia, the Vayne. Care to expand or share some insight?
I think the two things that Royal Club needs to change right now is they need to stop picking these individual skirmish champions, like Joe pointed out at the end there as well. Like, if you're going to pick an Irelia, you need to be able to win your lane, and you need to call your jungler around when you're about to get dove under your turret. And at the same time, like, what has been working for Royal Club is protecting Uzi, but don't tunnel on that either. You don't need to babysit in bot lane. They were fine playing 2v2, and Insec had to be on the top side of the map or middle, just helping the snowballs, those carry picks. Just let Uzi and Zero take care of their own. They're good enough to do that.
I think this game was summed up pretty well by the casters, who said Star and Royal Club really just picked 3 losing lanes. Fizz loses to Orianna early. Vayne obviously loses that matchup early. And then Irelia, I feel like it's a 50-50 matchup from watching Wicked play it, but he really made that into a Ryze winning matchup. And that just means that Insect can't actually do anything, because he's having to constantly hold the hands of these losing lanes, and he can't do it very much.
Yeah, but the difficulty, of course, is that, honestly, Cola had been being held down in these matchups already, right? Like, even, at least on Rumble, he can start the game 0-6, but at least Rumble's useful with only 2 items at 20 minutes in. Like, the option was still open to him, if I understand correctly. It wasn't banned here. Like, I don't know why he got off of champions that were actually working.
I mean, he probably knows the matchup, but what keeps on happening right now is there's a minion wave gets stacked in front of his tower. He will walk up for 1 or 2 CS, take a horrible trade, and then at the same time, Clearlove is looming around the corner, ready to just jump on him, and Insec is nowhere in sight. So that's 1, a communication error, and 2, just a lane misplay. Either of those people can spot that, and you can't get dove, especially not twice, not like this and not at this level.
Let's pull the first replay up. I think it really highlights just how well Edward Gaming were playing and punishing Starhorn Royal Club. First thing, 16 minutes in, 4K gold lead, 3 towers to 0. They had lost a dragon, but Freak, talk me through this play as we roll it out. Starhorn Royal Club just, making mistakes and misplays.
Yeah, so I mean, this is basically just like the quick kill onto Corn. It's a nice kind of sort of bait here by Corn to set this up, but basically this is just EDG being able to own the jungle. They own top side the entire time.
Where's the play?
Right, well sure, but a lot of this comes off the fact that just the top lane is so overpowered compared to everyone else here. When Ryze comes down, it makes it a whole lot easier, whereas Kolo's fairly useless. And again, he's picking this duelist champion when winning top lane has never been something that Starhorn Royal Club's been doing.
And they're choosing to fight that 4 versus 5, which is the most mind-blowing thing. It's either Uzi isn't communicating or the team isn't making good reactive decisions off of what Uzi is saying. He's probably saying, I'm pushing bottom lane, Name can be anywhere, and he was there.
It really felt like Starhorn Royal Club were disjointed this game. Let's get to the next replay before we talk more about the bigger picture. Double Lift, this is a dragon fight that, again, EDG, they had an even bigger lead, and they just kind of roll over Royal Club.
Yeah, and just look at this situation. It's honestly unwinnable for Royal Club right now. You see Fizz in the bottom lane, and you see how Starhorn Royal Club is really spread out, but EDG's together. When EDG is a ball with this comp, they just Rune Prison into a kill. And if you roll the clip, it's almost exactly what happens. Because they're so split up, Uzi thinks that he can make a play, some sort of flank on the side. Insec is also looking, but there's no follow-up. Like, who's going to follow up on this Lee Sin Q? Nobody. And then they see Uzi, he's cut off. He's trying to follow up on this Insec play, and he just ends up dying for free. After this, they really just need to leave. Get out, because your AD carry, who's the only one who really won his lane, is dead. So how are you going to win this fight 4 versus 5 when your most valuable player is dead? And then at this point, it's pretty hard for them to come back. I think, if I remember correctly, it snowballed into a Baron, and that's just an insurmountable lead.
Right, I mean, not only were the lanes winning, but, I mean, all those champions are going to spike up way earlier. Like, single item Fizz, not exactly a great team fighter. Lichbane doesn't even do anything but single target damage. You talk about the top lane losing already, but even if bot lane was equal, and it was, iEdge Lucian is still going to beat almost any other champion at that point in the game. Like, we keep seeing this teams pick Tristana and fight dragon battles. Teams have comps like this and fight dragon battles. You have no business winning.
Okay, so I've got a question for the 2 players on the desk now. We've seen Starhorn Royal Club win 2 games back-to-back, let's say off raw skill, let's say off team fighting prowess. Now we've seen 2 wins from Edward Gaming, more so strategically than individual play. I want to break down the players in Edward Gaming, and very specifically Name. Name did not impress in the group stage. I think up until this game, I've yet to really be impressed. What do you think about Edward Gaming's individual players, maybe with some focus on Name, as there's one game to determine if they carry on at Worlds or not?
Well, this is not a really great game to judge Name's skill, because it's a pretty easy matchup. I do think that Vayne versus Lucian can be 50-50 skill dependent, but really Lucian can always free farm, just push it up. And you saw he was just doing massive amounts of damage, but he was never really fighting Uzi, which is like his lane opponent. I really do think I want to see Starhorn Royal Club kind of mentally refocus and just get those champions that they don't. I don't know what they're doing. Fizz and Aurelia, like, come on, they need to play better lane bullies than that.
I actually don't have a ton of respect, actually, for the AD carries that are like Name and Def. They are very good players, but they're sort of my style of AD carry where you kind of suck in lane, and as long as your team is winning, then you get damage output, but you're never going to win your team a game in any meaningful way, whereas Uzi won his team the games, right? Like, I would much rather have an Uzi on my team than a Name.
I think what EDG has been doing well is playing a good pick and ban phase. They get these early game champions and they abuse what they have, you know, and these last 2 games they got ahead early really well, and that is testament to their individual skill. You can't deny that top lane, they're winning hard based on game knowledge and individual skill, and Name, he's holding his own, honestly. Coming into this tournament, he was called the best carry, like in China, if not the best AD carry in the world. Clearly, that's not it.
Well,
Uzi is definitely a contender, if not the guy to take that title. But the last 2 games, he's playing a lot more solid.
Name, the most hyped, Imp probably delivering, and Imp himself saying to Uzi, I feel you're the best AD carry.
But
Final thoughts?
Even then, Imp lost lane to Wild Turtle almost 4 games in a row. I think he lost lane to Wild Turtle 3 games in a row. I've yet to see Uzi mess up like really hard in lane. This guy, I think he is the best AD carry in the world, no doubt.
Well, we'll see if his Worlds tour can continue. Game 5 coming up shortly. We are going to take one last final break, and when we return, Starhorn Royal Club and Edward Gaming will face off in Game 5 of this knockout round.
To clear up, he flashes away. Rune Prism comes in, he goes to the wall, and again he
Shut the Waters coming out from Korn. They are able to take down FCZF. A bit of fuel for the fight. EDG's coming up huge on this one. The box goes down, but nobody's going to be forced to walk into it. Nami just getting out of range, but he does go down. Can the team recuperate the fight?